The rule consists of a couple of key actions that are as stupid as it gets in terms of how to not be socially and professionally weird. In short, men are essentially barred from having any form of platonic networking or bonding with female friends or colleagues, all under the guise of professionalism. Sounds like they're trying to do damage control in this article. After all, we all remember Aziz Ansari, right? Making out with the chick and I felt afraid and nothing happened that she didn't agree to. But yet, she tried to claim the victim status of MeToo. Remember that? So the Mike Pence rule stems from a 2002 article published in The Hill, which was recently recovered by the Washington Post. In the article, Pence explains he never eats alone with a woman other than his wife and won't attend events featuring alcohol without his wife. Seems fair enough. The writer continues, many of Pence's supporters recognize this frame of thinking from evangelical Christian teachings. Sounds like a pretty good teaching to me. However, in the secular world, the place outside of the safety net of religion and where everyone actually lives, women need to be given opportunities. Given, not earned, given. To bond with their male coworkers, bosses, and friends in order to create sustainable and healthy relationships. See, again, men have to do something for women. Kind of a constant theme, isn't it? We have to do something for them. Okay, then you don't accuse me of something I didn't do and try to torpedo my life. How about that? The Mike Pence rule has been adopted by a number of men who feel this is the correct response to making the workplace more professional. And, parentheses, somehow, question mark, as a response to sexual harassment and abuse against women. However, anyone with a kindergarten understanding of appropriate social behavior knows this is stupid. The idea that by avoiding women we are helping anyone is such a pile of shit. It's hard to even pinpoint what's most wrong with this frame of thinking. This was written before the Kavanaugh fiasco. I don't think Mike Pence is saying he wants to avoid women. He just does not want to be alone with women that he's not married to. I don't see this as a problem. I see this as just a professional situation. If you're at work and you're lunching or whatever with your colleagues, you probably don't want to do it alone. I am just saying. For after all a woman these days has to do is say something happened. You're fucking fired. Fired. Like that. And this writer is telling us, oh yeah, you're idiotic and stupid and you're thinking like a kindergarten. Really? Really? How many hundreds of men were torpedoed by MeToo? And how many of those men have been charged with a crime? For starters, it belittles women to being this bad thing and no-no area that further creates a divide between the genders. Who created this? Who did this? Feminism. Feminism created this nightmare, and now they're bitching because they created the problem. Not the problem of sexual harassment, of course. That's a separate issue. What I'm saying is the Me Too, where men are afraid, frankly. Being around women outside of work, if they work with them, or being with women they're not married to or whatever. Problem being men being scared of being around women. You did. Secondly, it decisively cuts women off from being able to make workplace connections. Men need to help women. Do you see it here again? That could benefit their careers and relationships. Maybe men, dear writer, are saying, I'm not going to have anything to do with women except professionally at work and not outside of work and not ever alone, because that could benefit their career and their relationships. So I guess it's perfectly okay for women to bitch because they're being cut off from their careers and relationships. But when men take the rational, logical step, as in the Mike Pence rule, to protect them, well, obviously that's, misogynistic or some other crap, right? Thirdly, it creates a dialogue that by avoiding women and not talking to or acknowledging them, who is doing this? Again, I love the way these people, they immediately leap to the worst possible, we're just not going to talk to women. That's not what we're saying. The Mike Pence rule is to not have dinner alone with a woman without his wife. It's very simple, very logical, very rational. She continues, the dialogue that by avoiding women and not talking to or acknowledging them, this somehow solves sexual harassment in society and the workplace, which is false, dumb, and irrational in every way. No. No, 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 no. If you do not put yourself in the situation where someone could make something up and call you out on it and say you did something to them and get yourself fired with no evidence, I think it's very, very rational to just avoid those situations. She continues, what needs to happen is a very real and palpable conversation surrounding social norms among the genders and what is appropriate and inappropriate for professional and personal settings. Sheryl Sandberg, Chief Operating Officer for Facebook, a woman, by the way, explained in a Facebook statement, quote, if men think that the way to address workplace sexual harassment is to avoid one-on-one time with female colleagues, including meetings, coffee breaks, and all the interactions that help us work together effectively, it will be a huge setback for women. Again, men gotta do something for the women. All a woman has to do, all she has to do is say, he made me feel uncomfortable, and that man is packing his shit and he's fucking gone. His career could be over. He will be fired. And you think it's irrational to limit your exposure as a man. Oh my God. As Sandberg explains, a recent survey by Lean In and SurveyMonkey revealed that almost half of male managers in the United States are now uncomfortable participating in basic activities with women. Only half? It should be 98%. The other 2% don't care. They're still going to harass women. Do you understand it is a minority of men, people? Of course not. It's every man. It says here, senior men are 3.5 times more likely to hesitate to have a work dinner alone with a junior woman than with a junior man. And they're 5 times more likely to hesitate to travel for work alone with a woman. They're very fucking smart. Extremely smart. Someone in a higher up position, a lower level junior female, she drops a dime on you and you're fucking toast. What do you expect? Men, what did you expect men to do? Just gladly walk right into the fucking fire? Oh yeah, we're just going to go have dinner. Next day you're in HR. Bring your laptop and your badge and we'll send boxes of your shit to your house. Thank you. That's how that works. Does anybody need that? No. Nobody needs that. She writes, it pains us to have to reiterate this, but men can and should be around women in social settings and networking environments. Just to benefit women, though. See, this is how healthy workplaces are created. Bonding and mutual respect. You know how unhealthy workplaces are created? The mere hint of being uncomfortable around somebody and that man is fired. The idea that men should no longer place themselves in the presence of women professionally or platonically is actually a huge slap in the face to what the MeToo movement seeks to change. We need to normalize consent. We need to normalize female leadership. We need to normalize appropriate workplace behavior that values the presence of women just as much as men. We do not accomplish this by avoiding women like a leper under the guise of professionalism. Frankly, to be outwardly blunt, if you think the Mike Pence rule is a solution to the glaring imbalance of power and respect given to women in society, then you are an actual, true-to-life, literal idiot. Well, I guess I am an idiot. And a lot of men are idiots. Links below. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.